Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
New York Times Business.
March 22, 11:12 America, New York. How Instagram's algorithm change is hurting small businesses. Instagram's choice to prioritize videos over photos creates unforeseen costs for small companies, leaving many owners disheartened. Sana Javeri Kadri said the Instagram account for her spice business, Diaspora Company, is suffering as the photo-sharing app pivots to video.
BBC News Business.
March 22, 11:03 America, New York. Tesla. Elon Musk opens gigafactory near Berlin. The opening of Tesla's first European factory was pushed back due to a licensing delay.
BBC News Business.
March 22, 11:03 America, New York. Tesla. Elon Musk opens gigafactory near Berlin. The opening of Tesla's first European factory was pushed back due to a licensing delay.
BBC News Business.
March 22, 10:06 America, New York. Flybe to resume flights and operations in April. The carrier, which collapsed 2 years ago, is now based in Birmingham and will operate 23 routes. BBC News Business.
March 22, 10:06 America, New York. Flybe to resume flights and operations in April. The carrier, which collapsed 2 years ago, is now based in Birmingham and will operate 23 routes.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 22, 10 o'clock America, New York. Student loan freeze saves borrowers nearly $200 billion. Around 37 million federal student loan borrowers were spared $195 billion in loan payments, and many of them are likely to struggle with their debts when the moratorium is lifted, according to a Federal Reserve Bank of New York report.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 22, 9:55 America, New York. Gasoline prices shoot up at fastest rate on record. As summer driving season approaches, average prices for regular gasoline have been at record highs the past 2 weeks after going up for 11 straight weeks.
BBC News Business.
March 22, 9:54 America, New York. Citizens' Advice calls for inquiry into ethnicity impact on car insurance pricing. The regulator says insurers face challenging questions, but firms say ethnicity never affects prices.
BBC News Business.
March 22, 9:54 America, New York. Citizens' Advice calls for inquiry into ethnicity impact on car insurance pricing. The regulator says insurers face challenging questions, but firms say ethnicity never affects prices.
Global economy.
March 22, 9:40 America, New York. Putin's war threatens millions with hunger. The poorest must be protected against the impact of rising food costs.
New York Times Business.
March 22, 9:07 America, New York. China Evergrande says it will delay its financial report. The news is the latest setback for the hugely indebted Chinese property developer, which fell into default last year.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 22, 8:30 America, New York. There's only one stock market sector in the green this year. Energy stocks are leading the pack in the stock market in 2022.
Daily FX Market News.
March 22, 8:30 America, New York. Japanese yen price forecast. USD, JPY surges into overbought territory. The yen sell-off continues unabated, attracting the attention of Finance Minister Suzuki. However, overbought conditions may offer a short-term reprieve.
New York Times Business.
March 22, 8:20 America, New York. SEC climate proposal is very significant for business. The SEC has proposed sweeping new rules on company climate disclosures. Gary Gensler wants to set a standard for company climate disclosures.
Daily FX Market News.
March 22, 8:08 America, New York. FTSE, DAX Outlook. UK, EU stocks hold firm above key resistance. The DAX and FTSE index have held steady as a return of risk on sentiment supported global equities, pushing prices above key technical levels.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
March 22, 8:08 America, New York. New rules put net zero pledges under scrutiny. Under new proposed SEC regulations, many companies that have pledged to cut their carbon footprints will now have to disclose their emissions, including hard-to-measure data from their suppliers and customers.
Daily FX Market News.
March 22, 8 o'clock America, New York. FTSE, DAX Outlook. UK, EU stocks holding firm above key support. The DAX and FTSE index have held steady as a return of risk on sentiment supported global equities, pushing prices above key technical levels.
Wall Street Journal markets.
March 22, 7:55 America, New York. Evergrande's hidden debt sinkhole just keeps growing. Evergrande's latest announcement is raising more questions about how much it really owes. Investors may not like the answers, especially since Chinese property developers' hidden debt problem isn't confined to Evergrande alone.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 22, 7 o'clock America, New York. For companies still selling in Russia, essential is a loose term. Consumer product giants vowed to limit sales in the country to the most basic necessities, but some continue stocking shelves with children's lip gloss, potato chips and air freshener despite growing pressure.
Marginal revolution.
March 22, 3:56 America, New York. Those new, old service sector jobs. DNO Warhead Nuclear Threat Reduction Program Manager. The salary is £40,000 a year. Before taxes of course, not to mention London rent. Via the truly excellent Kevin Lewis.
Global economy.
March 22, 3:23 America, New York. Asia-Pacific stocks rise as Fed works to combat high inflation. U.S. stock and government bond prices swing after Powell signals tighter policy.